Okay.
s- why did you decide to look for a coach in the first place?
So I was looking at my routine. It was during COVID. A lot of gyms were shutting down. So online private training was one of the few options that was still available. And I wanted to stay as healthy as possible during COVID and find someone who was able to work within my ridiculous limitations and injuries and all that good stuff that we know happens.
They weren't that ridiculous, I don't think. You had a normal amount of injury,
Okay,
a
okay, but
normal amount.
for someone who's older, I have aches and pains, and finding someone who can work within those is very important.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad I was able to. You weren't that
Yeah.
bad though, to be
Okay.
fair. You weren't that bad. And then before we started coaching, and maybe before COVID too, because that was kind of like the hard reset. What was your like fitness health routine like? What was your situation like?
So I was doing CrossFit 4 to 5 days a week,
Mm, hmm.
and well, actually, right before COVID, because in 2019 I had a hip surgery, and that put me out of the gym, off exercise for like 6 months. Like I just wasn't
Oh, I
allowed to do
remember.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but prior to that, I was doing CrossFit 4 to 5 days a week, and I started to see that I just wasn't having the same results that I was having.
Yeah.
And I was working with the coaches a lot on just the programming at the gym, and like, look, this doesn't seem to be working. This doesn't feel good. I'm tired all the time. And then COVID hit, the gym shut down, and I was just stuck with nowhere to go for my fitness.
Nowhere to go. And were you already feeling like CrossFit was probably not the way?
Yes. I think I had come to that conclusion probably a couple years before. I didn't look forward to getting up and going. I would look at a lot of the workouts and then decide not to go and hope the next day wasn't as bad. My body was just fatiguing, and there just didn't seem to be any recovery. There was no, I wasn't leaning out, regardless of what I was doing nutrition wise. And it just felt like
Yeah.
my body was rejecting CrossFit.
Yeah. I think that happens to a lot of people. Most people. Um, and were you unable to do things that you wanted to do because of the CrossFit, because of, I mean, the hip surgery, obviously. But like even before that, were you starting to feel like it was stopping you physically from doing things?
Yeah, I would feel like I wasn't hiking as much or being as active on vacations, because I would feel like, oh, this is where my body can now finally rest and relax, and I wouldn't feel the
Mm.
aches and the pains and that kind of stuff. So I would say it was a little more limiting in my personal life. I believe it or not, I used to run some. I was
Yeah,
up
I
to
believe
like,
you.
and I stopped running during CrossFit because it just started to hurt. And now I just don't run. We know that. Now I don't run.
Yes, I know that. Um, Before you started coaching with me, were you worried about finding a coach and like finding a new gym and, trying to find something new? Was there any doubts, fears, or anything you had?
I was very worried. I'm very particular about coaching.
Yes, I know.
Um, I, I, as you know, I've been an athlete, so I'm used to coaching, and I feel like you have to have someone who not only understands your body, but knows what they're doing and keeps up, because the fitness industry does change. We change how we work out, we change what's important here. Over
Hmm.
time, we discover things. So finding someone that one would work with my crazy schedule, me, and my issues, as well as have the knowledge. I mean, when I reached out to Nathan, it was because I knew I had worked with Nathan before, and I would feel comfortable with him. And so I was comfortable when he recommended you. And
Yeah.
then when, after talking to you, I was like, okay, no, this is someone that I can work with. Someone who, if I say, we're having a hormone day, is going to understand and be like, okay, let's adjust or reset. I mean, the number of times we've reset, and yet over the last few years, we've still had amazing progress.
Yeah. Well, then we get to the fun part now of what have you seen in terms of results and progress and stuff like that.
So while it has been slow, I'm not going to lie. It's a journey. It's not a quick thing. I have dropped 4 sizes in clothing. I
Heck
don't know
yeah.
what my I don't know what my weight is on the scale because we just don't go to the scale because muscle weighs more.
Hmm.
I feel a lot healthier in general with the training styles, and I don't have those CrossFitty type things. Like, I especially with the cardio aspect of it and the walking and just having you there, I feel more fit and healthy in general. Like, I'm not hesitant, as you know, to go out and do things that I probably shouldn't be doing,
Yeah. Like handstands.
like handstands. But at the same time, like, I'll go hiking and I no longer am like tired or have the aches and the pains. I'm able to lift things around the house that I don't think twice about. And I think
Yeah.
these are all gains that most people don't think about. Like, they're so
Yeah.
concerned with that number on the scale. And I'm more concerned about, like, can I move today?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's a lot to do with too, like the cutting down the workouts and then just
Yes.
adjusting the habits, like walking, which I still harp all the time and I bother you about, but the
I did my
walking, the
walk today.
sleeping, you did.
Yes,
Good.
I
Good.
did.
The walking, the sleeping, the protein. The protein was our big
Yes,
thing right
it
off the
was.
bat.
It
It was,
was.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not anymore. Like, now I'm like, wait, I need more protein. Where's my protein shake? I'm
Yeah.
getting used to
I
the
have you
walking
trained.
more. You do. You have me very well trained. And I like that we have, and it used to be, it would bother me if we would, like, if I was doing the same movements over and over again. That
Yeah.
was one of the reasons I liked CrossFit. Now I find the opposite. I like knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
know what today's going to, it might still be a struggle, but I like knowing, like, I can mentally prepare for that now. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just an age thing or my body's just feeling better now in general. So
Yeah. And I
I
think
like
the
that more.
consistent progress where like the CrossFit or just doing whatever you feel like, going to the gym,
Yeah.
you don't really see like that 5 pounds every week increase in
No.
weight or like the strength or, it kind of comes randomly as opposed to how we're doing it is super structured, like consistent, constant over a long period of time, you
And,
know?
and I'm finding I like it. I like the
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the structure is my friend now.
Yeah. Well, I'm always worried about that as people getting bored, but I think it's like, once you see that you're making progress, not even just the clothes sizes and stuff like that, it's like just seeing the progress of you getting stronger and being able to do the movements better is like satisfying.
I mean, come on, we've gone from where I had to do assisted lunges to I
Yeah.
can do walking lunges unassisted now.
Yeah. Across your
I
whole
mean,
house.
across my whole house. And that I mean, honestly, that's a big thing because pre-surgery, sure, I could do that. Post-surgery, I couldn't do lunges. And so it's that steady, okay, we're just going to start with these and then we're going to progress. And it's like, oh, if I want to lunge now, I'm just going to go lunge for half a mile. Okay,
Yeah, no
fine.
problem.
Yeah. So I think seeing the steady progression of progress is extremely motivating and satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then the last thing I have for you, would you recommend others to join me and why?
Oh, I would absolutely, I tell everybody. I mean,
Oh,
everybody,
good.
to be fair, everybody wants to know what I'm doing. And people, I go to a monthly book club, and last night I was there and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you've lost more weight. What are you doing?" And I keep telling them, "It's my trainer. You should just call him. He knows what he's doing. He does
Yeah.
my food, he does my nutrition, he does everything." And they've seen the progress over the last
Hmm.
several years. So would I recommend you 150%? Because one, you know what you're doing. Two, you have an innate ability to connect with your clients,
Oh,
and that
thank you.
connection is extremely important to build a trust relationship. Like, I could be feeling like crap and I could tell you, and you work around it, and yet we still have the progress. So
Hmm.
despite what's going on in my life, and I have a very busy life. A lot of my colleagues are very busy as well. And they're like, well, how do you find the time? I go, oh, we fit it in here. He'll come in the afternoon. We'll juggle things around. So your flexibility, your knowledge, and your ability to connect with your clients.
Well, thank you for saying that. That's very nice. I was worried for a second. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't worried. I was
It's just
like,
facts. Just the
yeah.
facts.
Imagine I had you come on and you're like, he's
I'll
okay.
be like,
He's all
yeah,
right.
I love him, but no, you can't have him.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
No,
No.
no, no. I would love it in my ideal world, everybody would be training with you at
Well,
my
thank you.
house.
In my ideal world, I would be training everyone too. And hopefully
Right?
we can
'Cause
make that happen. Oh, thank you for coming on and doing this.